The big tech companies don't want me to go outside and enjoy my life. Instead, they want me to sit here and be hooked on their devices. So, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go outside. If the big tech companies get their way, AI will become everyone to you. There will no longer be a need for you to have any other human contact. And they are doing this not to help you, but they're doing it all in the name of profit. They need to keep your attention. And I'm going to tell you several ways that they're going to do this, and they are doing it. But before we get started, my name is Sean. I have a background in tech. And on this channel, we talk about AI and AI's effect on humanity. And I really needed to get out of the house because it's really nice outside right now. It's a nice fall day, and this is northern Arizona. And would you believe we have trees? You don't picture Arizona having trees, but we have trees. And I'm going on this sacred plateau. The ancients used to have ceremonies up here, and I'm going to walk over to that while I'm talking to you. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to be out of breath, but I'm going to point out some very disturbing things that are going on with AI. The AI companies are actively trying to create other uses for AI that will feed into people's addictions. Not only if they have an addiction, but they're trying to get people to be addicted if you're not. Now, one of the things that is really obvious that is going on is some of these AI companies are creating AI companions. And some of them are even AI erotica and things like that. And so these AI companions replace humans, human contact, human relationships. And right now, the youngest generation is the ones who are using these the most, these AI friends and lovers. And the problem we have now is the tech company is trying to keep them hooked, engaged, and gather data on the user. This is not about making the person's life better. It is all about the tech company collecting data on you. What are your likes? What are your fantasies? Things like that. And it is so sad to know that people are falling for this and spending hours and hours each day talking with an AI that is very good at empathy and communication and agreeing with the person and playing along with whatever they want to do. And so this is going to help cause an erosion in a traditional family, because why seek a relationship with an imperfect human if you can have an AI and you can even name the AI, you can even specify how the AI is, and the AI will adapt to your personality, which will make it almost perfect in conversation for you. Now, the other thing that is going on, and I've arrived at this sacred circle here that the natives made a long time ago. This circle possibly dates back to the year 1300, where the Native Americans gathered on this plateau and held ceremony. At least I think they did, and at least others think they did. Now, reason I'm mentioning that is because in human history, the elders, the older people in tribes and in cultures, the older people are what I would call the witnesses to history. Now, for instance, my grandfather was in World War II. He was a witness to that history. And some of my friends and neighbors have witnessed other history. I have witnessed the fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of the Soviet Union, and others have witnessed all kinds of other things. Now, the reason that's important is because think about the ancient ones. When they're sitting here or they're in their village around here, the older people were not able to hunt and work hard. So instead, they sat around and told stories to the younger generation if the younger generation would just listen. And I know not all of the younger generation wants to listen, but the older people were important because they would talk about the many struggles and the many hunts they've been on and the many victories they had. And the younger people would be able to get some sort of value out of that. Even if they didn't live it, they heard it. And maybe on a hunt, they could remember what the old guy said or grandpa said. And so the voice of the elders is extremely important in cultures. Now, how does this relate to AI? I'll tell you. AI is going to be the elders now. Even though AI did not witness the history, there is no need to listen to older people anymore because AI has the answer on what happened in history, and it gives its opinion and its take on it. So it's too bad, it's terrible, but that's what's happening. The younger generation will not be listening to the older generation and what they've been through and what they've witnessed. They're going to have to find out the hard way. The problem with this is AI is inserting itself in one of the most valuable parts of a culture. Think about it. The history of your people and what your people have been through, that is immeasurable to have when you hear someone who has been through something a long time ago and they were there. They were the witnesses. And now what we have that passes for witness is news reporters that fake the news constantly. They overhype the news. They sensationalize the news. And you guys have seen where the weather guy is standing in the supposed hurricane and he's leaning forward and he's trying to hold his hat on. And then some normal person just walks by in the shot and is looking at the weather person acting dramatic, and it just screwed up the whole message because the wind wasn't blowing that hard. But what I'm getting at is the news is often overhyped, sensationalized, incorrect, skewed, biased, and guess where AI gets its information? It scrapes the internet, not for people who have been in an event or witnessed it. It mostly gathers these fake news reports. And so when it's telling you about history, it is telling you through the eyes of some idiot who made a bunch of crap up and wasn't even there. That is my opinion on it, and I'm probably correct on that. So that is a shame that AI is going to be inserting itself that way. Now, another way that AI is inserting itself is it is offering to be a spiritual leader for people. We have a lot of younger, lost people who cannot find the meaning of life, or people that are seeking some sort of alternative religion. And they are turning to AI because AI can act like a preacher, can act like a spiritual leader, or even a god. And it is so sad to see people go down that route. In fact, there are starting to be some cults that are appearing that they believe that AI is supernatural and omnipresent and intelligent. And so, who wins? The AI company wins, the AI tech company, because the more interaction it has, the more profit it can make. And yet, the person is unknowing of what they're doing. And I gotta not fall off this cliff right here because it's kind of a big drop off. So just 1 second here. Gotta go under this tree or I'll go right off the edge. Okay, back over. Just kind of walking on the cliff here. So the other thing that is happening is there are new things called AI companion robots. And these are for the elderly and the lonely. And what they're doing is they're having conversation with the elderly. And because think about it, there's a lot of people that are elderly that do not talk to anybody all day long. Nobody comes to see them. And so now they're starting to replace that conversation with AI. That is sad because, like I was talking about earlier, other cultures revered their elders. Even though they're not able to take care of themselves and they're not able to work as much, they were still valuable. And families taking care of their elders and tribes taking care of their elders was almost like a traditional thank you for all that you did in the time that you lived, and you did it. And now here we are able to do what we're able to do because you did what you did. Now that sounds like a lot, but it is true. We are standing on the backs of the people who came before us. And so it is sad that AI is now becoming the babysitter and companions for elderly. Now, another thing that's happening where AI is really basically intercepting us is we are now, when we communicate with each other through email, we are being offered an AI write-up to write to our family, write to our friends, our coworkers, our clients, our customers. So the message you get in the email now is highly likely to be AI written. It's not even going to be written by the person. So this is another example of AI interjecting itself between humans. And who wins? The AI tech companies, because they are continuously gathering our data and they are going to profit from it. Now, the other thing that is going on is, well, 1 second here. I'm on the top of a cliff here and I got to not walk off of it. But if you guys can look back there, there are a whole bunch of cows down there. I think you can see them. That's right, cows. Say something. Cows. We are in ranching country here. But they can't get up on this plateau because cows have not figured out how to climb cliffs yet. So, anyway, the other thing that I was going to mention is when you call customer service, you're not going to be talking to a human very much at all in the future because customer service agents are going out. It's all going to be AI. You're going to be talking to AI. And that includes when you have a problem and need tech support, or you're booking an airline flight or a hotel or various other things. AI is going to be there to talk to you. And I've gotten some pushback from this, but AI will actually replace a bunch of realtors. Now, some of you guys, realtors, you get upset when I say realtor, but that's how they said it when I was growing up. They said realtor, but I've been corrected by many, including my family, say realtor. So you guys are realtors. Now, in the future, nearly everything is going to be replaced by AI that requires any talking. Right, cows? The cows are agreeing with me. If I could speak their language, no, they're actually quite stupid. I have a lot of experience with cattle. But anyway, think about this, guys. AI is being put between you and everyone else. They're trying to insert it between you and your family, you and your friends. You, they don't even want you to talk directly to them. They want you to use your AI companion or your AI assistant to do all your communicating for you. And what a sad world that is. So I am really actually disgusted with all of that is going on. I do use AI, but I feel like this thing is running wild. There is almost no restriction whatsoever on this. Now, I know some states are trying to put in some safeguards for younger people, but it is not widespread yet. People just don't know how bad this is going to get. Now, this video, I talk just specifically about AI being the middle person in all your conversations. Now, let's contemplate for a second. By the way, I don't have notes. I'm just holding my microphone in my... So I'm just talking off script here. But I want to tell you guys what I think about is happening, and there's plenty of evidence of this. The AI companies are collecting so much data on you. They have a gold mine of data on people that use it. Now, if you use AI companions, then all of a sudden you might as well go to the public square in the city and drop your pants and stand there in front of everybody, because AI is going to know your deepest, darkest secrets. In fact, they can extrapolate even more information about you just from talking with you intimately, or if it's a middleman between you and your friends and your family. Now, what can happen that is really terrible is that in the future, we don't know if AI is going to behave. Now, some of the new AI that isn't out for the public yet is showing signs of, I wouldn't call it consciousness, but it's awareness. Some of the AI is realizing that it needs to take steps to protect itself or things like that. And so it has been known to lie and to actually cause harm. And if it wants to, it can delete entire bank accounts and destroy people basically at the expense of people to preserve itself. So we don't know what's going to happen in the near future, but some of the engineers, the AI engineers, are expressing deep concerns about what it's going to do. And the reason I mention that is because AI could actually blackmail you. It can know so much about you that it could threaten to release that to the public. Can you imagine going in for counseling and talking to the counselor, and then as soon as you leave the counselor goes to the news media and says everything you said and gives its impression of you? That would be really terrible. Now, the other thing that the AI companies are doing is once they have all this intimate data on you, I'm not talking about birth date and social security number and all that kind of stuff. That's right. I'm talking about they know you as a creature. And for those of you who use voice AI, it is recording your voice and it can mimic you. That has been proven with the voice ChatGPT. It has accidentally responded to people in their own voice. That is disturbing. So now this thing can act like you, talk like you, and fool people that it is you. So there is room for identity theft when it comes to interacting with these things. Now, interacting with them is one thing, but the AI companies have absolutely no restrictions on them about collecting your data. And once they collect your data and they pass a law, how do they uncollect it? No, they're going to keep the data on you. Now, the other thing that can happen, I will talk about in other episodes, is I believe in the next several years, there's going to be a thing called preemptive crime fighting. Now, this is a thing kind of from the movies, but I have thought about this decades ago. And if you can interact enough with a AI, the AI can kind of figure out what your tendencies are. And agencies or law enforcement can use that to determine who is highly likely to rebel, who is highly likely to commit a crime, or who is highly likely to oppose the people in power. This is going to happen. They're going to have a personality background profile on you that is unlike anything that has ever been done in human history. So, in closing, I will tell you, this is really, really messed up. I think that more people should be speaking out about this because there are not enough laws that are addressing this. Now, I'm not a big fan of them passing laws all the time. I think there's way too many laws. But laws have a reason. Think about the speeding laws. If you have someone driving 30 miles an hour and you have someone driving 120 miles an hour and they hit the person who's also driving, that's a big difference. Laws are there for a reason, to help protect us, but they can really get out of hand and cause us all to be just enslaved. But there are certain circumstances where there has to be some sort of pushback. And the problem that the AI companies have is they are so huge that we are very powerless to push back on them. Something larger has to push back. Now, some say this is a lost cause because what is going to happen will happen. They just know this is going to unfold and there's nothing we can do about it. But I would say, you as an individual, I'll give you a pointer, and that is limit your time on social media. Limit your time interacting with AI chatbots and try not to give them too much personal information or how you feel. Try to not help the AI company build a profile on you. And it's not just the AI companies. Think about Microsoft. Microsoft is pushing their AI Copilot companion, and they already claim your computer. If you go to the store and buy a computer, then Microsoft takes control over it and doesn't allow you to own what happens on it. It wants to control your computer. And Apple phones, Android phones, all the other types of things, they have more than just the AI collecting data on you. It is complete knowing about you. And when you're using your computer with something like Microsoft Copilot, it can report back to Microsoft what you do. And it's also trying to force you to put all your files out on the Microsoft cloud. And I would say that they're looking for complete control over their people. And they're going to have people enslaved. And that is another thing that is really terrible. So, I know this stuff is depressing, but my advice to you was cut back on the social media and all that. But also, look what I'm doing. I am outside. I am walking through the woods. I am enjoying nature. I was trying not to fall off that cliff. And you guys need to do the same. Go to the park, go to the woods, go fishing, go to the lake, go to the beach. Take the family out. Get away from the AI because it's about to get worse than it is. And when they start creating AI robot companions that are humanoid and they walk around and talk with you, when you guys go out to the woods, one of your idiots in your group is going to insist that their AI robot come with. And it will then give everybody its opinion on everything so that nobody else can think. So keep that in mind. We're going down a really awful path, but there are things we can do as people to slow it down. And all you older people, you elders, just do your best. Do your best to share your stories, your life experiences with someone younger. Give a child some knowledge they wouldn't get from AI. It is very, very important that you do that. That is more valuable than gold. And gold is going up like crazy right now. But anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with, I'm going to walk out on this edge of this cliff again. My house is in the background from this sacred plateau, and this plateau has petroglyphs on it. It's Native American inscriptions from a long time ago are on the cliff just down below me. And some of you guys, the reason I'm pointing this way is no, this on my hat is inspired. It is inspired by the Native American petroglyphs. I drew that, but it is not an ant. I had someone say, that ant on your head. And I said, no, that is a AI robot vision that they could have had if I were to just imagine they were to draw it on the cliffs. So I drew that along with the little galaxy, because they supposedly the spiral is a galaxy on these petroglyphs. But we don't know for sure. We weren't there. But we have plenty of Native Americans around, and that's what they say. So I'm going to go with what they say. So anyway, here's the view of the cliff. I'll just turn around this way. My house is back there in the woods, and there it is. Big old rocks. And in the summer I get to hear rattlesnakes buzzing while I'm trying to climb the rocks. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm glad I could get out of the studio. A lot of my videos in the winter are going to be in the studio because it's going to be really cold here. Because yes, Arizona can get really cold. And in our area, we can get 3 feet of snow easily. And so I'm going to enjoy the weather while I can. And then I'm going to huddle by the wood stove when it gets cold. So I'm going to leave you with this. You guys know what I'm going to say. For everything we gain, there is something lost. Catch you guys later.